All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back to Shop Talk, episode 6. We're going to be talking about colorism. Let's go. No disclaimers today.
Punch you right into the
Do
shit,
whatever the
right?
hell you want. Do whatever the hell you want. No, sir. So today we have Dejana, Tiffany, and Trina with us. You guys want to say hi?
Hello.
Hey, people.
So we had to get some colors around here. So
Spread this shit out a little bit. Right.
They call it light skin versus dark skin.
House
Oh,
needs work.
although I can't see the middle, I can't see you, Dejana or Tiff, honestly.
Oh,
Okay,
it's because the skin is so small.
there we go. You got it.
Yeah, I can see
oh,
you.
wait, maybe I can wait.
Oh, is it better
That's
now?
better. Yeah, that's much better.
All big me.
That was all little.
No, that's fine, look, because then you can if you focus, if you make it smaller, then you can make them better. So you should put it back how you had it, Juan. Yeah, that's much, because then you can see both of them. Yeah, that's
I feel like you're trying to make it just be all me.
Yes.
no, it just we can see them both. It's easier.
Okay, that works. All right, so let's get into this topic. Let's see. So do we know what colorism is? Let's start there. Or what is your opinion of what colorism is?
That's a good place to start.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I think colorism is just colors, like how people ranging from lighter skin tones to darker skin tones, and how people are treated based on that. And it's just, going way back in time of why darker people are less, what's the word, like inferior, or just the stupidity of that. That's colorism.
Okay. So what do you think?
I think Dejana actually hit the nail right on the head. The official definition of colorism is the practice of favoring lighter skin over darker skin. Just that's just a very bare minimum description of it. And yeah, that's kind of what my thought of it is as well. Just the whole idea of if you see someone that's dark and you see someone lighter, then sometimes, not always, the preference becomes the lighter person for whatever reason that becomes. Again, not always. I don't want to hear no shit. Sometimes. So yeah.
Most of the time, you're right. Lil, you know what you should do? You should headline the meaning of. You should put colorism and put the dictionary. Oh, sorry.
You can't do that.
Oh, you can't do.
It's not,
my bad.
it's not
I'm sorry.
PowerPoint.
My bad.
Well,
my bad.
actually, she can. If you make a banner, you can do that.
Yeah,
Oh.
see? Oh, what? Oh,
I can do it right now.
ooh. Go ahead, Train. Do it.
I can't get into Little Studio.
I do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can do it if you hop into your studio, and then you'll see a tab that says banners or create a banner.
I got it.
And then what I'll do is let me do this really. Oh, it's not allowing me. So let's see.
Okay. Wait a minute. You know what? You said that I could add the comments to us. Like, here we go. Yeah. Black folks.
All right, try this here.
Lighter.
I just put it in the private chat. Look to the side and look in the private chat. I just sent you the definition.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was gonna read this off of. So now, how do I put it into the banner?
Copy and paste.
Don't
So
make sense.
just write to where it says the first paragraph, colorism, and then write to skin in period. You don't have to put all the rest of the stuff there. But
Oh, yeah, I just lost y'all. What'd you make me do?
Black folk issues, dark skin versus lighter skin.
Okay.
Indeed.
Okay.
You got it?
Y'all asked me to do some technical stuff. You know, I'm not this type of person.
Okay, that's okay. We can throw it in the chat so as to not put a stall on things.
All right. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I don't know how to do it. But okay. So
Leah did it.
Yeah. Well, her comment comes.
you just put the comment. That's just her comment. That's
Oh,
not,
okay.
yeah. That's not the definition of it.
Right.
I mean, it's the shortened definition.
Yeah.
Right. It's a yeah.
So now, all right. So obviously, it's saying dark skin versus light skin. So does that mean that a light skinned person could a dark skinned person do colorism to a light skinned person, or is it only in reverse, light skin to dark skin?
I think
As
it's
I understand it, yeah. I'm sorry, Tim. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, it was me. I feel like it's both ways, and a lot of the times people try to limit it just to Black culture. Yeah, we are the culprits of majority of like exercising that still mostly, but there's still all those prejudices in other cultures, especially Asian culture. They hide their darker people, and India too. They hide them. That's why they have their levels in society based on there's levels to society in India based on your skin color. I forgot what it's called. It's like some weird word like Bacchus or something. I don't even know. But I just remember learning about that. But they're just your range of skin tone can basically put you in a better situation than someone who's darker than you. And there's still like practices and places in other cultures, not just here in America.
I totally agree. I totally agree with that.
I think it's called. Is it coccyx? No, that's your backbone. I gotta look it up. Hold on.
Mom, you can take that down. It's blocking me. I just want it so that both can see what the general description is. It's in the chat, so you guys, whoever wanted to know the general description of what it looks like. But I guess for me, I'm curious to know how has anybody felt like they've been either a perpetrator, the colorist in a situation, or felt some sort of level of colorism towards them in any situation. Because I understand it to mean that it's only typically in the same. It's generally directed at darker complected people, but I'm interested to know if someone in another shade may feel that from people that maybe are lighter than they are. Who knows? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I feel like I'm doing most of the talking here, but
like Lil just took a back seat.
Yeah, it's just really I feel like it's frustrating growing up because I'm lighter skinned, I'm everything but Black. So I have to be something else. Like I have to be. There's no way because Black people are only Black and blacker skin tone. So I have to be Spanish. But I've never really got the white and Black mix, especially from like white people. They always just assume Spanish because I'm not. My features aren't that whitish, I should say. So I never got, oh, you must be Black and white. I always got, oh, you must be Spanish or something. Just never anything on their quote unquote level. So yeah, and that's it. Just like it's annoying growing up in a full-on Black Caribbean family and supposedly Native American descent on my dad's side, supposedly. But just to be anything considered anything other than Black is just like just because I'm light skinned, I just can't be Black.
That's a great perspective.
I will say, in their defense, your name is Dejana, spelled Wana. So I mean,
but my boyfriend's name is Francisco, and he's from Africa. Yeah. So
you can't go by name.
Right. That's a fact.
There's Black people who name their kid Carlos with a K because they like the name. I'm gonna name my kid Carlos.
But that's true. But what I'm saying is, it's not like them being being ignorant on their part. Is because you do have like your name. If you was spelled like Dayjonna, but your name is spelled Dayjuana, and that's even how they pronounce it. They be like Daywana, so they automatically assume straight off the rip that you are Hispanic.
But that's just.
But if they're seeing her and thinking that like they don't see her name spelled, they're just seeing her and thinking like, oh, she must be Spanish.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I don't mean by like introducing and they see my name. Well, it's a different when you're going into an interview, obviously.
That's what I was thinking.
But like face to face, if I'm coming across somebody, let's say I'm checking out at the grocery store.
You have a name tag.
I'm checking out at the grocery store. And they are looking at me and we're having a conversation. Well, I like your hair. Where are you from? Obviously, my hair can't be decent if I'm Black. for some reason.
That's definitely,
like it's
stereotype.
it's just a long line of just ignorance and stereotypes, and it's just like, well, no, your hair's a little different from mine. You got a little what they call good hair or whatever the case may be. Like, yeah. So, but I do get because the spelling of my name, but coming off of that, just because it's spelled a certain way doesn't mean,
Yeah, because by that same theory, like if you spelled it in a super duper extra ghetto way, then you're kind of saying that the assumption would be made that, oh, she must be black because her name is spelled with like mad syllables and vowels and shit next to each other. You know what I mean? So it kind of puts us back into some level of judgment to some degree. Like if we're going to look at and use a name and say, okay, based on her name, if it's this, then she must be that, and if she's that, she must be this. It's like,
And the ignorance too, like you think Monique. You know how many white women I know named Monique? Right. It's a French name. French Monique, Dominique, Jamal. Jamal is supposed to be Hamal, which is like Middle Eastern, and but it's just ignorance all around, especially coming down to colorism. Because if you meet a Jamal and he happens to be brown, then he must be Indian. When he could consider himself Saudi or Middle Eastern, and technically those are closer to Africa. So
that's true. Good point. Yeah, that's a perspective I don't think I was interested to know, and it's good to hear it from another side because you never really look at it that way. I had a conversation with someone who's lighter complected, and in her family, she's the darkest, lightest one in her family, and she felt like she faced, she dealt with a little bit of colorism within her own family, just based on the fact, that she was, her shade was a little darker than the rest of them. Have you guys ever experienced anything like that?
I mean, my mother and my brother are super light.
So right, but have you ever experienced anything weird?
My family, but I don't.
Black
it's like you're dark, and like people, like I mean, even my brother, he would be like, "You're adopted."
Yeah,
like just even the teasing from like being a child is like, "Oh, you're adopted into this family. You're not really one of us or whatever." But also just, I don't know. I think just even similarities with my mom and my brother make it hard for me to. I've never really been like, oh, it's because I'm dark skinned. But obviously in my family, when people see us, they're like, wait, that's your mother? It was like, where you coming from? And then my dad happens to be like a shade or two lighter than me. So then it doesn't, for them, it's like, wait, and then you're darker than your dad too?
Like, is your daddy really your daddy?
Right.
So, hey.
I think the worst part is growing up light skinned and having all these things happen to you where nobody can really just think that you're just black. It's kind of like when you don't know any better, it's flattering. And that sucks to outgrow. Well, it's good to outgrow that, but it sucks to realize like, wow, you were really that person. Like you really thought you were prettier than that girl. And then when I look at girls now and they're like, like super cute, like dark skinned girls, like, and when I think about how my perspective was growing up and looking at the girls back then, I'll be like, okay, whatever. I'm light skinned, like, like whatever.
I won.
Right. I won. But what did you win? Right. So, ignorance. That's what you're winning. Like just continue a battle that's a invisible battle that shouldn't even exist.
Right. Well, look, even I was thinking back, like my family, like I said, there's so many light skin, even colored eyes, and what's considered good hair and all that. And so I know, like, Black people come in all flavors, but I think because my family is kind of mixed, I'm ignorant too, because I automatically do the same thing. Like if you're lighter skin, it's like, oh, someone must be something else mixed with Black. Like I go to that thought. I remember having a conversation with somebody like a couple years back where she was very emphatic like that. She's Black, and her mother and father were all Black, and both of their parents, like, she went through the whole thing with me because I was saying to her, but like, what are you mixed with? But what are you mixed with? And she got offended. She was like, I'm gonna need you to not say that not one more time. Like, if I can't just be Black. And I don't know, I was like not realizing I was being offensive because I'm like, damn girl, I'm Black. I'm not offending you. I thought you was mixed with something. I really wasn't trying to be. I didn't even realize I was being offensive until she did it. But like, this is my thought process of it is my family is mixed with other stuff. So when I see you looking like my family, I automatically go to that. It's not like, oh, no way. If you're full Black, you can't be light skinned. Like, no, I get that. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm comparing to my family. So does that make me a colorist? Like, was that an instance of colorism when I'm saying to like a light skinned Black person, like, what are you mixed with?
I think that in that moment, yeah.
I think that honestly, that person was taken to the offense for like no specific reason, because not saying that Black people can't be light skinned, but if you are light skinned, generally there's something mixed in somewhere down in the generation, because you understand what I'm saying. If we all came from Africa, Africa is a very hot area. It's very hot, and everybody there are close to, even if they're not like dark skin, but they're brown skin. You understand what I'm saying? You might have your lighter skin ones or whatever, but not real white skin unless they're albinos. You understand? So somewhere along her family, something got mixed in, whether it was the master messing with the whoever, and it passed all the way down, or if she has some type of Native American in her. You know what I'm saying? Or some type of West Indian, which somewhere down there, it's mixed in with some type of native island or something. You know what I mean? There's no way you're just gonna be light skinned.
But I think in the instance of when you notice that someone is getting offended when you were asking her that and she's just like, no, I'm Black. I think it's come down to a point for some people where it's just like, I only accept as much as I know. For me, I don't know those white people that rape them slaves, the enslaved people. I don't know them. I know I'm Black. I know that some things happened, unacceptable things, but I can't trace it back. And if I'm not going to spit in a vial and figure it out, because to be truth be told, when I step out into society, guess what I am? Black. So what is the point? Yeah. So in that sense, it's just like it is colorist of you to keep on pushing. So just imagine in that same scenario, if you were white, asking her that,
right?
Then it's like, she that's why she came to you, like, with the respect. I'm gonna need you to stop, asking me.
Yeah. And when she said it, I was like,
but if you were white, she would have been like, she would have came for your neck. Like you need to stop. Like, and I think that's part of the problem, is just like, and nobody's saying you can't be proud of your roots, but that's not the roots that you know. Like my quote unquote Scottish roots that my grandpa halfway brags about. I don't know any. I don't wear kilts. That's not my culture.
I do.
No. So I'm a brag on what I know, and what not to say because society sees me as Black, that's what I'm gonna do, but that's how I feel, and that's how I was brought up.
Yeah, no, I feel you. So okay, Trini, what's your experience with colorism? Or do you have experiences with colorism?
I think for me, I started out with like issues about my complexion before I even realized what colorism was. So I've always had a problem with being dark. I didn't like it. I didn't appreciate it. I didn't understand it, because the description of me was always little Black Trina. I couldn't just be Trina. I just couldn't be, Pat's daughter, Roscoe's. I couldn't be that. I was always little Black Trina. And then as I got older, I became little Black Trina from Franklin Hill. So that became my identity. And so even as a kid, my mother gave me this book. I don't know if you guys ever read it, but it's called The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison.
I'm gonna write it down.
She gave me this book when I was about 8 years old because I hated my complexion so much. And so I would always say to her, like, why isn't my hair long? Or why is my hair so nappy? Or why is my hair so short? Or, why do I look like this? And then my mother would say to me things like, well, look at your cheekbones and look at this part of your face. And, she's trying to construct my face for me to make me see that beauty does not lie in complexions and those sorts of things. She's trying to show me what features are and this sort of thing. And I'm hearing none of it. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear no parts of that stuff. And so just going through life, my mother always tried to encourage me about who I was, that, don't feel no kind of way about, how dark you were. Your black is beautiful, but I didn't appreciate it. I couldn't understand it. She even went so far as to tell me, you look just like Cicely Tyson, she would tell me. And this is back in the 80s before, VCR tapes and this sort of things. And we were poor. We grew up, in the projects poor. So by the time I was able to see Cicely Tyson, she was in a movie. What is that goddamn movie?
Color Purple?
Miss Jane Pittman.
Oh, okay.
Diary of Miss Jane Pittman. And so she's like, look, there goes Cicely Tyson right there. And I almost passed the fuck out because I'm looking at what she is in the movie. And you guys got to see the movie because, they got the makeup on. And she's like, really old. And so for the next 10 years, I'm more fucked up because while she's trying to encourage me, she done tainted because now I'm like, you trying to tell me I look like this old motherfucker and I'm only like fucking 12? Like, are you dead ass? And so I'm fucked up more, right?
No internet.
And so my life goes on, and it's not until like I'm literally every bit of 30 years old to where I finally was like, listen, I'm dark. I can't do shit about it. I have to accept it. But I fought against accepting it. I hated my complexion. I hated the length of my hair. I hated the size of my fucking nose. I hated everything about me. And it was mostly based on what society would say to me. I had friends, not you, Lil, but I had a friend tell me one time, you're cute to be dark. And I remember saying, bitch, what the fuck that mean?
Yeah.
Dark. You cute to be light-skinned with a big ass extremity on top. I digress. My point is, you shouldn't say shit like that to people because for me, and I know she didn't mean it in that way, but those are the sorts of things I began to experience through life that always lent itself to me not being confident with who I was, what I looked like, and how I was standing. So, I've dealt with it just through the years. I had a friend of mine, God rest his soul. Tiff, you was in the lineup. Remember when we were going to Westie? We were on a bus. And it was about 6, it was the crew of us, me, you, Kathy, Lee, she was all of us. And he's like, yo, all of y'all are cute, but then he started ranking everybody in order. And by the time that nigga was done, I was at like 6 or 7. And I was like, what? Bitch, wait a minute. Like, and so now these are all things that I'm with my self-esteem because I'm like, even though I'm thinking I'm creeping towards, feeling good, it's always somebody letting me know, like, nah, bitch, you still below that light skin bitch over there, even though her features is all fucked off. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mama said your features supposed to look like this. Her features don't look like that. Why her fucking eyes is beside her fucking ears? But I guess, you know what I'm saying? My fault. I'm just saying I'm out of just sharp, sharp.
You're right, because I know some ugly light-skinned people too.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
Just because they were light-skinned, they already had the edge. It didn't matter what their features looked like. My mother used to tell me Grace Jones was beautiful to my mother. But Grace Jones was the most beautiful woman to my mother ever. And I wasn't until like I said, about 32, where I had to double back, look at some pictures like, wow. That's a bad motherfucker right there. You see them goddamn cheekbones all sitting up and bone structure and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So I started to look at beauty very differently. So me and Lil look at somebody and be like, I'd be like, no, look at her fucking cheekbones. Look at her fucking eyes. Look at everything is perfect. Like her dimensions are perfect. And Lil's like, So I see beauty in a very different way because of the things that I've been through.
You said, I never do that, guys. Don't listen to her.
Because I do remember when Grace Jones played in Boomerang. And back then, when she played in Boomerang, Grace Jones was like rated #1 top model, most beautiful woman, so such and such, and I was like, what the hell are they seeing? But now the other day I watched the Boomerang again, and I was like, damn, I see exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Well,
like, I guess I've dealt with it, but it just over time, I think people, life, circumstances, they don't realize how detrimental it could be to some of us, and we know it's not intentional. We know nobody means to be an ass about what they're saying, but it does have an effect. So yeah, that's my colorism experience.
Well, even if you go back to the doll baby experiment,
I was just about to tell you that.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's actually called, but they did it back in the 60s, I think it was. And like the little girls were seeing, it was little black kids, and they were seeing the dolls. They showed them a white doll and a black doll, and they're like, when they look at the white doll, they seen like beauty, and they loved it and thought it was so pretty and all this. But when they looked at the black doll, they were like, it's ugly.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. It was like their whole thought process over the doll was terrible. And then they did this same experiment. I think it was in like 2018, which is freaking scary. And the results were like the same.
Wow.
Like
It's definitely taught.
Well, first of all, when they make dolls, like if you go back in the days when we were younger, the black dolls was never as pretty as the white ones.
On purpose.
Right.
They did that on purpose. They always made them extra dark. I mean, it just didn't look as good as the light skin, as the white dolls or whatever.
Now, see what you just said, Tiff?
Extra dark.
Yeah.
But it's not
what you just
Oh, but she said extra dark.
They made them extra dark.
Okay, if you think about it, it's different. It's different colors. It's different shades. You understand? So it was either white dolls or black dolls. When they made the black dolls, they made the black dolls extra black. I mean, people they didn't make the makeup like, okay, so you got your Barbie doll with the white one with the perfect makeup. All her makeup looks good with her clothes, and then you got the black one. They got extra black with blue ass eyeshadow and red ass lips. Come on. So what does that look like to a little kid? Like,
but
that's scary.
That looks like a black woman could wear blue eyeshadow and red ass lips and be extra black and still be killing the game. Tiff, come on.
I know, not in the dolls that they made though. Did you see what the dolls look like?
I wasn't a Barbie doll kid though. I didn't do Barbie dolls.
I was
worth looking, but I mean, they also have like, I mean, when we were coming up, I feel like dolls, like, I don't want to say evolved. I don't know what like, I think they got better with just the make of the doll. The only thing I notice nowadays is they make it more difficult. Like, you'll see lots of black dolls in there now, but they're either more expensive, and it might be the exact same doll. That's confusing to me. Like, why are you adding the price to it? Like, raising the price on the black doll? Like, it seems like they're trying to keep you from buying it, maybe. But that's like a whole other thing, I guess.
I think when I was growing up, the most dolls I seen that I felt like was weird. Either the dolls were if they were black, they was bald headed as fuck. They just had that
with blue eyes.
Yeah, like the swerve hair that was like molded into the fucking skull of the doll.
Oh, not really hair.
Or you had the doll with all the hair, but there was not no black dolls where you could just do the doll's hair like you had the doll heads for the Barbie shits and stuff. They didn't have that either. You had a black doll and she was bald as fuck, or you had a white doll if you wanted to do some hair. And it was like always those little discrepancies that I would see, like, what the fuck is that about? Like, that's weird, like, who the fuck want? And then who wants to always play with a doll that's Leah Cabbage Patch dolls, bald as fuck. I love and then they just gave I did too. I remember I had one in the project, y'all. I was popping. I was like the only person in the project with a Cabbage Patch doll, dog. My aunt got in line and fought for my fucking Cabbage Patch doll.
That's right.
She sure did. Went the bat over me a Cabbage Patch. Oh my gosh.
And she's black, y'all. Hey.
Oh,
and she got good hair. And she got good hair. What?
Okay, now in a Cabbage Patch. Oh, that's super cute.
That is cute though.
I think what my mom is trying to say is
just
that
as old as I am.
You've always said that's the old doll, Tiff? You've been having?
Yeah, this is one of the original ones. It's older than
way. super cute. Now
They make the dolls. Besides this one, they make the dolls look like blackface.
So I also had the original Cabbage Patch Kid, but my mom had gave it to my niece. My great niece. The one. Do you remember when the face was made out of like a stocking?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that one was black, and that one actually was pretty and has like the straw, like the yawn hair. That was a pretty Cabbage Patch Kid.
Why? Because the hair was yawn and straw. It couldn't have been a nappy fro. Couldn't have been Brillo.
Yeah.
Brillo's the problem.
She had the yawn hair. Her hair was nice.
It was golden yellow. Yes. Her eyes were blue.
No, she was a black one. She was a black dog. American.
Yeah. Everything society said she should be.
No, that was my bald one.
Oh my god. But I feel like it is definitely learned, especially with that experiment and just like, or what you tell your kids, like my grandparents still like having dark skinned friends. It's like something else.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all a traumatizing story. When I was younger, for Christmas, my grandmother used to give my cousin Nikki and my cousin Kathy the black Barbie dolls and always gave me the white Barbie dolls. When I asked why did I have to get the white Barbie doll, they said because that Barbie doll was the same color as me.
Your Nana's a colorist?
Yes, she is.
It's horrible.
I mean, is that being a colorist?
Yes.
I mean, doll toy.
So you Tiff's black too, sis. Like Tiff's also black.
They didn't have in that day. They didn't have like.
She gave Kathy and the other cousin black dolls. She said.
Well, Kathy and the other cousin are brown skin, so they got brown skin dolls.
But they're still not dark skin. Do you see what I'm saying?
Still black.
There's no Kathy. Yeah, but Kathy and Nikki's about the same color.
No such thing as light skinned dolls when we were kids.
No, they just got them now. They got
white dolls and black dolls, and there was barely any black dolls. Why are y'all?
But do you see the point though? Like now they have to because we were complaining about it.
Right, thank goodness. Like different, different hair, everything. They didn't came up. But was that colorist? Colorism.
Yeah, it was. And I also remember
in the comments if people think light skinned people can be victims of colorism.
Well, I couldn't get a black doll. I was really racist as a baby. So
and also when I was younger, I was like maybe about 5 years old, and I was in Trinidad, and we was at some place, and we had a dance contest, right? And the winner was getting like, do you guys remember those dolls? They were like maybe about 2 to 3 feet tall, and then when you held the hand, it used to walk with you. Do you remember those?
I remember those.
So I won the contest for the doll. I won the contest for the doll, and guess which doll they gave me? First of all, they wouldn't stop calling me the little white girl, and then they gave me the white doll.
So you was just, okay.
You was in Trinidad, sis. I mean,
yeah.
I'll wake her up in a few, Daddy.
I will tell my daughter-in-law, she is mixed, and we used to make me and my kids used to make jokes about her quite often, and I stopped because she said in her life, I'm guessing this is like colorism on both sides, because she said for like white people she's not white enough, and then for black people she's not black enough, so she's never been able to like truly fit in anywhere. It made me stop. I was like, oh damn, you know, I'm joking like, oh girl please because you white or whatever, but oh girl please that's your black side, stuff like that. I ain't thinking nothing. I'm thinking I'm funny. And then he said that, I was like, oh hell, I'm offensive as hell. Like I gotta stop. So I haven't done that since then, but we did it for a long time before I realized that I was offending. Like, so hey, I'm guilty, I guess. This is terrible. It's definitely terrible.
I would have never stopped.
Also, we grew up calling people names in in high school and stuff like that. Some of us still be calling people today, and now when I think about the names, I'm we all did it. So
It's
it's like,
learned. It's learned behavior, but that's because you
beautiful.
don't know any better. And then when you know better, you're like, dang, that is messed up. Who taught me that?
See, for me, like, I'll find myself, because it's just part of my vernacular at this point, but I'll call anybody a stinking black bitch, and it don't matter what color you are. Like, you could be a whole Caucasian, and I'm like, you stinking black bitch, you. And it's just, and I know for me, I probably should not be so free, because I grew up under the whole calling, like, I have my homeboy, he's really dark skinned. I call my homeboy Blackum, y'all. Now, that's probably incredibly offensive. I never really thought about it that way. Or when I greet some of my dark complected friends, I literally greet them like, what a black ass, or like, I literally greet them in those ways. And so then I start questioning myself, like, am I like do I got the game wrong? Like, am I tripping because I don't like when people say certain things to me, but because I've, gotten past it and I've developed a thicker skin per se, I still do certain shit like that to others. So it got me wondering, and partly why I wanted to have the conversation anyway with you guys. So because I'm trying to see if I need to be checking myself more with what I say to people, because I'm like, I say a lot of greasy shit, and joking, but not even mean, in a mean way, but just jokingly, out of, in terms of endearment, honestly, but it could be offensive to somebody,
I mean, I feel like if they was offended, they would say something to you, especially if they're your friends. They'd be like, "Oh, all right." But come on, for real, like, nah, you gotta stop calling me that.
Nope. The reason why I know that's not true is because I was telling Trina that I can't remember the exact what the conversation was, but I remember having a conversation with the person she's talking about, and whatever he said for me was like, oh shoot, like it kicked in for me, like, damn, he's been offended all these years. He's just taking it like,
tried, yeah.
everybody does. Yeah, it's like,
that's what I wanted to add is like, it depends on your, not to say you should just be throwing out those types of like, oh, black but if that person knows what you like, that you care, or like that you're black too,
right, right.
and that you respect y'all's blackness for what it is. Just like when you what does Eddie Murphy say, darkness, or like like when you making jokes like that, but you have that relationship, I should say, and they know, like, if I say something to somebody, and I wouldn't do it disrespectfully, but they know I'm on my pro-black stuff, like they know that I'm it's out of endearment, but I'm not gonna sit here and like especially in other company. I will never offend you in other company, but when we on our own, you darkness, or you blackums, like like, it's a respect.
Well, I'm guilty because I could see, people that I grew up with like that, and it wouldn't matter if I seen them in the grocery store. We've been at funerals.
Still doing it.
That ass doing the dumb shit. Like, what up with your mother? You black ass this. Like, we still give it up that way. And then I think it's exactly what you're saying too. Like, they know it's not from a bad place. It's not like I'm dissing. I have no problem with your blackness. You know me, you my fellow person. You know what I mean? I get it. I understand it. But I just not always, but I just started to wonder, like, am I crossing a line, considering I know what my plight was and how long it took me to feel okay with, sitting in my own skin. So am I kind of making shit worse for people that may possibly, because, maybe they don't give a fuck at all. Maybe I was just the only insecure nigga for the last 35, 40 years, whatever. But I don't know. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to, you gotta learn. I like to do introspection. I'd rather check myself before somebody has to check me about it. You know what I mean?
Making me think, because I have this cousin. He's like real light with freckles and red hair. So whenever I see him, it'd be like, white boy. But he answers like he's cool with it. Like, damn, is he really not cool with it now? Like, I don't know.
It just makes you wonder, right? Like, are we crossing lines that we just assume are okay because they know, or is it really okay and it's just really okay? It just, kind of gives something, just food for thought. Oh, they call Leah powder and pus color. What the hell?
Yeah, that's awful. I ain't
gonna hold you. I call people that too when
I'm all looking at the picture like, yeah, Leah.
Look, I've done that too. But so it's weird, like, to be a victim of colorism and almost damn near be a reverse colorist. I think I am, probably. I think maybe we all are to some degree, do you think?
Yeah.
Because I think we all carry some sort of biasness. What, I don't know. I mean, I think a little bit. I think a little bit.
Build for horrible reasons.
I can see where I've changed a lot from when I was younger and, like, my early 20s and stuff to where I'm at now with the whole color stuff. Like, you just see things a lot differently. You have more knowledge, and just from the way you were raised, like you said, to be ashamed of the being dark skinned versus the light skin and I just, I feel like it's like that in every culture, though. In every culture.
And I did a paper on this in my African American Studies class for college, and my paper was basically, the thesis was, would our civil rights activism had been more or less successful with the lighter people, lighter activisms over darker ones, because who do people remember? And not to say Martin Luther King wasn't dark skinned, but he was the lighter brown. But do half these people know who Marcus Garvey is? They don't teach you about Nat Turner. They teach you about Harriet Tubman, but there was the girl before her that sat on the bus and did the same thing, but she was darker.
That's Rosa Parks.
No. Oh, sorry, Rosa Parks. I'm so sorry. Rosa Parks, but I forgot the other girl's name, but she did it first, but it wasn't effective. It was just like, whatever. But because it was a light-skinned person, then it relates more. It's more trustworthy. It goes further in the masses, because so it's just like the advantage of lighter skin is basically taught. Even if you're a lighter skinned Black, that means you're closer to being trustworthy. You're closer to whiteness, so you're more favored. And it just stinks, like, to think that everything that you work hard for can only be effective if you're, lighter. And that's taught.
Or even that they kind of look at folks, if you're darker, you're sort of more aggressive suddenly. Mm-hmm. And if you're lighter, you're suddenly more docile. I think we look at, and I think we all do this with light-skinned men. We don't quite
respect them.
Like, I hear you, but for real, are you going, like, I ain't saying you're not going to do it, but are you going to do it? Like, I might challenge you. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's that sort of energy, but just literally based, and that's the flip of it. Like, folks think darker complected are more aggressive, but then we, on the other side, think lighter complected people are more weak, which oftentimes it's like we think it'd be one way and it'd be the total other way. That light-skinned person be done jumped on your face and gouged your goddamn eyes out.
I think,
and then that dark-skinned person is more calm and trying to have a conversation with you before they tear your ass up, so
I think the correlation with that is because typically darker skinned people statistically go through the most stuff. So
I was just
of course I'm gonna just assume that you are a strong Black woman. Like, that's it. Like, she's gonna tear you up, and then next thing you know, it's like, dang, I was wrong. She's not even mad right now. Like, shouldn't she be turning up? And then it'd be the other ones who just be wild, So it's just the assumption of you're gonna go through more. It's a true thing. You're gonna go through more, especially because you're darker. And that's gonna make you more abrasive. That's gonna make you just angry all the time. So
it is that assumption when it's literally the complete opposite. Like, I think I'm probably the calmest person until I'm not. I'm the coolest person until I'm not. My energy is good until it ain't.
And I think
it's very
cool. Dark skin.
Huh?
That's what I think. That's what any of us, light skin, dark skin, it don't matter.
What do you mean?
No, but I think with certain people, like, depending on how you carry yourself, they make assumptions about you. Like, so just like we said, like, you'll think somebody who's dark skinned is just gonna just be all aggressive and with the bullshit. When for my dark skinned self, I give people enough rope to hang themselves. But once that thing clicks in me, it's over. There's nothing we're going to talk about. Once I feel like you violated me, Lila tell you there ain't nothing you're going to be able to say to me. It's just on from there. So I don't know. It's just kind of one of them things where you kind of
for me, I just gotta misinterpret what you said. That's all. That's all it takes. the first thing to come out, then I got that black attitude, I guess. You know?
I was about to say, and if we turn off this screen alone, it's kind of funny because Trina's like the least aggressive out of the three of us. Like she's like, even her turn up is calm. It's like quiet. Like she'd be like, nope, I'm about to. Yep, I'm about to. Me, I'm like, the fuck. Tiff is me on a like in a tornado.
So Tasmanian Tiff for sure.
Yeah, it's funny how that goes. People wouldn't make that assumption, like you said, Trine. They wouldn't. They would just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna talk to her anyhow,"
and they don't never think I'm black until I open my mouth.
I feel like that with me too. They always think I'm something else, and then I talk, and then they're like, "Oh shit, she's black." Like, you're rude. Like,
another thing,
I think talk black. What the hell was that?
Borderline racist though, but like whenever I hear a situation, the first thing I ask, were they white?
I was about to say, but what about how I don't know. People do be guilty of saying that, like, she talk white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
articulate your words.
I sound like a white girl. Like, what the hell? Now I'd be like, really? All offended? Like, so because someone speaks proper English?
See, there's just so many aspects that like tie into colorism and racism, and it's just like, you know, it's how your colloquialisms and verbiage, whatever, however, wherever you come from, you could talk however you want, but I mean, the masters of code switch are obviously Black people. Like we could talk many different ways. Like I'll talk like this, but I'm not talking like this in the interview. Like no, because and it's sad that you can't fully be yourself. But if I were, if you should, but if I were to be like this,
thank God I can't fully be myself.
Then I would be considered a rare commodity because I'm light skinned and I have an urban quote unquote urban way about me. You know, it's like there's CC's a little edgy. It's like, no, I'm Black. Black equals cool if you didn't know. Like
shit, now I appreciate my Black, goddamn it. Like I be like, especially in the summertime, it'd be like all hot and I don't be having no sunscreen on. And nothing like that. And then
I
like
have to wear sunscreen, sis. Just saying.
Sis. Like I know that's I know that's what the masses say. I'm just saying it's gonna have to cut through several layers of melanin.
That's true.
To cause some issues around these parts. And it ain't like I'm saying out there basic.
Stay with me in July for 3 days.
Oh heck.
Huh?
I said, come stay with me in July and for 3 days with no sunscreen and see what happens.
I'll go tanning, Tiff. Don't play. I will bring my ass into a tanning booth and fucking tone my complexion. I will even myself out. That's what I should do. I should do a live and just show up at a tanning booth and shit like.
No, just come here in July for 3 days.
You know what's crazy?
Be that hot?
3 days.
It is really hot. But like how comfortable, well, how you've gotten yourself to be, Trina, like with yourself and your beauty and how you feel about yourself. Isn't it puzzling how it makes people feel uncomfortable?
I don't know, only because I don't carry myself in no kind of weird way. I just know for myself I feel better and I'm good with it, but I'm still an everyday basic ass person in that kind of a way. So I've never had no one made me feel like they felt uncomfortable because I felt confident now. If I, maybe I was just so confident I just didn't notice a nigga feeling some kind of way, that could have been it too.
Yeah.
So,
well, but like, Lil, would you, I mean, not to say because we're light skinned, I'm just asking the questions because I've noticed that, I have friends who are darker than me too, and they work through their issues, and what they had to deal with. Like, do you feel like it rubs people the wrong way when you're brown skinned, acknowledge that you're brown skinned and you're comfortable about it?
No, I don't think for me because people expect. I think people still look. I'm just jealous, and I be getting discriminated against because even though I'm brown skin, they still be trying to say like I got more like white features or like you
The
know
baloney lip.
like you know
baloney lip.
My bad.
They don't usually say baloney. They say bird.
What the fuck did you say, Tiff? Tiff, did you just say baloney?
Yeah, she calls my lips baloney. Lip. Always do.
Her baloney lip. You remember?
I can't.
Good
with Tiff.
examples.
You see, that's the problem. This is the problem. The problem.
Wow, niggas, I never heard
Yes, I'm a
baloney.
racist.
My name is Tiffany, and I'm a colorist racist. I'm sorry.
I am. I need you to
Stuff
me.
like that, but
Tiff need to go to Colorist Anonymous, nigga.
terrible.
Jeez, horrible.
Yeah,
But I think we all carry. That's all I'm saying. We all carry those weird things. What'd you say?
I don't know if I ever like. I don't think I ever felt like like the most maybe because when I was little, I didn't want to be brown skin, not because I didn't like my color, just because my mom and my brother were light skin. I was like, damn, why I gotta be the dark skin? Because outside of being in their presence, I've never felt like I wish I wasn't brown skin or anything. Hey, Lisa. So yeah, that's the only time it's like literally just in my household, like that type of stuff. So I don't know if I've ever even had a problem with it.
Well, that's a blessing.
Yeah.
It was a tough road for me, man. It was a tough road. Being little, like if I was short in stature, my hair wouldn't grow worth a fuck. It was just all bad. And like I can show you, I ain't gonna show y'all now. I'll show y'all privately because this picture's fucked off. But it's this picture my mama took of me, and I had to be about 11. And remember when the Hawaiian suits came out?
Yeah.
I had on a Hawaiian suit, and it was dope. And I had on my whole outfit, and I looked cute. And I was smiling, and my teeth was white, and my eyes was glistening. But when I tell you my hair was matted down like like a fucking dog had fucking crawled on top of my head and laid there and manged the fuck up. And I just remember being like, damn, I was so happy. Even then, I put on the face, but I remember thinking like, I look so happy, but I know I was so fucked off because I remember that day thinking, what the fuck am I supposed to do with my hair? I can't, it's all fucked off. I can't do nothing with it. So it's like I can look back at certain moments and look at certain pictures and be like, damn, dog, like you was not a happy camper right there. But I would smile through it. I always had a way of pushing through no matter what I was feeling like. I got perseverance of goddamn Job out here in these streets. I can tell you that much. Like I push through. I'll push through regardless, but it was really hard growing up being a dark-skinned kid, short hair. It was so difficult. So
it would be interesting. We need to get girls on here and see how they feel in like because they're so much younger, like in this day and age of like going through it as brown skin.
Yeah.
That's why I asked what I asked because media doesn't. Well, not to say you guys are that in age, but media it played a role. But now it's like active, like it's in your hand, and you see beauty everywhere in your hand, and you can search for it, and it's whatever's a preference is a preference at the time. So it's just like hearing from younger people how it affects their peers too, because there's I have some friends who are just like confident in being in the skin that they're in, and when they're in those spaces, other people are like, why does she think she's the shit? And it's just, why not?
Right.
Why?
And then that's the question, why not? Right.
Why not? Like what do you mean? She's gorgeous. Why? Because her skin is darker. Like what do you mean?
I think when we were growing up, we were still under that light skin's better, dark skin isn't. And I think nowadays, like within, from like the 2015s up to now or whatever, it's like so many people are pro-black. They, the black movies, they're showing more black, darker color blacks in the movies that are beautiful. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing more movies that came from like other countries, like the European movies that have black, dark skin, beautiful. I mean, fine ass men and everything. You know what I'm saying? Not these played out light skinned dudes that they have in all the movies now. So it's like the darkest skin is out there now. You know what I'm saying? Like people are starting. Society is starting to realize it's not just just the light skin, and you understand what I'm saying? Even us fellow black people, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, look at him, he's black as shit. Look at them beautiful white teeth, and shit that when we was teenagers, we would have been like, get that, what, nigga?
And it's like,
you ain't got no wave in your hair. You better get what? I can't even see. The hell, come on, like right now, that's what I'm saying. That's what we look for now, because we're not ashamed of it, or we know better now. You understand what I'm saying? Because we were out of that training that they had us in, like, yeah, the light skin's better. This, So I feel like
it's a training.
Yeah,
it's taught. Like I'm watching this show on Netflix, and it's based in Colombia, and in Colombia, like the Spanish country, and they have like this island where all the black people live, and that's where they hid them during the slave times. But you would never believe that back in those times that they actually had like a portrait of Black Mary and Black Jesus of Candela.
Mm-hmm.
They used to praise that. You ask them about that now, that's under the rug, because they don't want you to be praising no black nothing.
And honestly, like, if anybody knows me, they know, like, I love to watch like ancient English stuff. And I was watching about Queen Mary, who married King Henry VIII. And when she first came over to marry the brother, and when she came over with a Black Mary on the ship. Like, they will not let you see that now in white society or in America. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see all of that in the European stuff when you watch all the European stuff. Like, they weren't as ignorant to how black people and the class of like how we were back in the days, like, how America tried to make it seem like we were savages, just slaves, we were nothing, we were animals, and in the European countries, that's not how we were. That's not how we were portrayed.
There was some people who, in Europe, if they were captured as they said, because in that time, some of them still had rank, depending on what they were captured for being black. And it might have not been like a high rank, but they had rank. Like the British still, even it's still racist and colorist, but they had respect for humans as humans. And that's all this, what we're discussing is not to say it's just an American problem, but it's all over the world. But it was birthed here.
Right.
All that hate was birthed here because America was built off of other country rejects. So people who were killing, murdering, pillaging all them and doing things, treachery, what is it called? Treasonous. They were sent to America to build this colony. So you got the worst of the worst building America. So of course, what are you going to get? The worst of the worst.
Right. No, that's a whole fact.
I think I was doing a little bit of an injustice. I was putting the comments up, but usually I read them. So now I feel like
you've been ignoring everybody.
Yeah, like
go back up and
like Lisa.
Well, she's been clicking them.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been clicking them and putting them up there, but I just feel like I don't know if I should have been reading all the way down because now I feel like I ignored them. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna get better at that.
Go ahead and read them.
I would say we got time to just go back for you to scroll back through and just
read them.
Acknowledgments to the comments
with their comments.
Yeah. Excuse me, guys.
Let's see if I can even. Nope. No, this is terrible. Oh, okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. All right, so, but it goes so far back. So, besides them agreeing with different things, obviously, I don't know where we were then. But at one point, Aaliyah was saying I know she was saying that she felt like light skinned people definitely can be discriminated against. And she said that they used to call her powder and puss colored, which now that's just disrespectful as hell. It's like there's no terms of endearment type of shit with powder
baby.
puss colored. That's just disrespectful. And then Lisa said hey to everybody. She said folks always called her conceited, and she was saying why, because she likes to look good. And then she said that the world's sad from COVID. Oh wait, no, she said people make me sick sometimes, so judgmental. I speak my mind, confident. People hate on that too. What the hell? I be myself. So that was based off of just y'all's last conversations. I'm sorry. See, it's weird now. I should have been, but I didn't want to cut off. I just got to figure that out. Look, Lisa's like, no, don't read them.
She said no.
Now, is Lisa, is she darker skinned or lighter skinned?
She's like maybe a shade. She's around my complexion. She's between me and Trine, maybe.
Okay. So she's
you don't see her fingers there, Shauna?
You went to hair school with, right?
Oh yeah, there's a finger. No, she's she's Jammer's mom.
Oh, okay.
She's Booty's other grandma.
Oh.
My mom don't acknowledge other grandmas.
She said, well, she's Booty's grandma, girl. What you mean she don't acknowledge?
No, I'm just saying, like, for my case, you don't acknowledge other grandmas.
Oh, okay. She said darker than you. Yeah.
So I think
I thought Jammer's mom was a little bit darker. Like she's.
I feel like
not between. I think like she's more closer to my complexion than she's your complexion. Like,
but I think she was like saying the confidence that she has. Like, just imagine like people questioning your confidence. Actually, you know what? I was watching that clip that they showed of Venus Williams. You know, Venus and Serena, and there was this white man interviewing her as a young girl. She's 13. He's like, how do you feel about going into this challenge, you know? And she's like, I'm a win. And he's just like, you seem so confident. And she's just like, because I am. And then he kept digging into it. And her dad, he came up and he was like, what you're not going to do is question this child's confidence, because you wouldn't be questioning her. She said what she said. She's gonna win this. Like, why are you questioning her? Why wouldn't she be able to win this? And especially a child, you know, like you wouldn't ask a child like be questioning. You're gonna go with it. You're gonna be like, you know what, you are gonna win if you're gonna be supportive in that way. But because Venus is darker, of course. And then same thing with Serena Williams. Why is she so confident? She's so dark. She's muscular, masculine. That woman is bodacious. Curvy everywhere. She has muscles, but she's curvy as heck. That woman looks good. And just because she's darker and she has the confidence that she has, it's a problem. Why is it a problem?
It intimidates society. You're not supposed to feel that good and be that dark. You have some goddamn nerve. You're supposed to be quiet with your beauty. You got to be quiet. You know what I mean? You got to keep that down, because you know, I guess it bothers folks. Not for me, I'm talking about Serena, but I mean, could you imagine But I'm saying, but think about it, like Serena, you know, she's stacked up physically and fucking financially. It's not really a lot of ways you can maneuver her. You know what I mean? She's not at the whim of society and what they think and what they say. Like, you know, I'm not either, but sometimes I feel like I am because of my, you know, income bracket. I can only do but so much, you know. And so I think for her, she probably can, you know, navigate it a little bit better. But I would imagine being in that entertainment industry at all, it got to be twice as hard, because they're a little bit more upfront with how the hell they feel about that shit.
And she the one like the white husband.
Serena got a white husband.
And she got a white husband, mixed baby.
But
she had a nerve.
Super supportive. That man, like, I guess when she was competing against some other German woman or whatever that was doing the steroids, he wore a Dare to Do Drug shirt to the competition. Like it's not like he just happens to be white. He's not white. He just happens to be white.
Right.
That's what you call them when they're like just regular people. He just happens to be white.
Yeah.
Under that circumstance. But yeah, I just like it's crazy. Like just the way that they get on these kids, and then even when how they arrest these kids when they're darker. I think I watched a really devastating video of them pepper spraying and beating up a 9-year-old, 3 officers, and putting them in the car because she was acting like a child.
I seen that, yeah.
I saw that.
And he yelled to her, stop acting like a child. And she was like, I am.
Right. Like,
what do you want me to act like?
Right. Like, who should I act like, nigga? Like, I'm going to act like this 9-year-old that I am. Money! Like, you know what I mean? I'm surprised she didn't bite his ass.
Right.
I would bit the fuck out of him.
And I'm not saying it doesn't happen to light-skinned people. I'm not, but majority of the time, like, come on, you can't deny it. It's like it's the aggression. Oh, my approach is gonna be aggressive because I know for a fact. Look how dark her skin is. She's aggressive. Like,
yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
My approach is gonna be. I automatically assume you're gonna be aggressive, so I'm going to approach you aggressively. Right. And you know what? I'm a terrible because that's how I treat white people.
But you know what? Sometimes it be the truth, though.
Here we go. Here we go.
Sometimes it be the truth.
Here we go.
And this is not coming from the light-skinned person. This is just coming from a black person. Sometimes when you approach the darker skinned ones, and they just react a certain way.
I think that's more of just not I don't know. Because I feel like I get it, but when you approach that light skinned person, they act like what do you call it? Privileged and city. I would never steal. I would never, even though they got everything in their purse. But
I was about to say, and the experience of the darker skinned person is not the exact same as the light skin, because I could be standing somewhere and you could be standing somewhere. And if they think somebody's stealing, it could be you, but they're going to look at me first because of my skin tone. So, yeah, I've been in line with that.
That is definitely true. I understand. And I feel like when you being approached by somebody else, you understand what I'm saying? Then you give that reaction. But when you being approached by your own peoples, you know what you did. Don't try to act like you don't know what you did and trying to accuse me of being a freaking racist.
I think it's just a reaction of people because white people be acting wild too. You know, I work at Whole Foods part-time and they be acting.
And I understand that because honestly, like when I go to different places or whatever, if I'm in a certain place for a long time or I walk around the store and stuff like that, I get followed all the time. And I think it's hilarious. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know exactly what they're looking for. But they're also following me because I'm black. You understand what I'm saying? So I understand their aggravation, but usually the people that you get the attitudes from is usually the dark-skinned people. What we call them the eyelashes. That's what we call them.
You're extra.
It's the truth.
I don't know if that, like, I don't know. I just, I'm trying to think of a scenario where, because what I kind of feel like what happens is when someone of a lighter complexion says or reacts in a certain way, and then they're typically not used to a certain energy getting thrown at them. And so for example, not me and you, but let's use me and you. If you say something slick and you're used to saying slick shit, that's just your thing. You used to like talking slick greasy out the side of your mouth all the time. And I'm this dark-skinned girl, excuse me, who catches grease quickly. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck was that? And then it becomes a thing where I'm aggressive because I caught your shit and I called you on it. When typically, if you say some shit, you just get away with it. But when you get called on it, then I become the aggressive one because I'm the one who actually said, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So I think there's always that little weird place where I feel like, and obviously not you, Tiff, I'm just talking about like, that's how we get the Karen situations where, you know, all it takes is for you to act this way, and then when I react, then I'm aggressive, even though you've been acting the whole ass the whole fucking time. And just because I'm like, I'm gonna match your energy, you better slow down. Then it becomes she's aggressive. No, bitch, I'm matching the fuck out of your energy. That's it. And so, I mean, but I see your point as well, but I think there's also that other side too, where, you know, people act a certain way and are not used to getting the energy that they're throwing back out because they've been so used to just going through life talking that shit. You know what I'm saying? And acting that type of way. And then, you know, when you get met with that same energy, folks don't really like that shit. I match. If you handle me correctly, if you know, treat me with respect, you will never have to worry about me. I would never dream of it. Don't handle me weird, because I'm gonna let you handle me weird for a little while, but then I'm gonna go to the left. So
okay, so in that case, all right, I'm gonna go with Tiff then, because I definitely pop off. Sometimes don't be needing to. So I guess I would be the people that she's speaking.
But I think it's like in this case, like they obviously be stealing, but it's like, isn't it exhausting to always be that person? Like, it's you did it, and you're like, I didn't even do nothing. Like, you know, you just pop off. Is it because you're exhausted? I think that's the point that we're getting at. Even though they be guilty, they're still exhausted. Like, damn, can I get away with one thing? Yeah. Like, can I get away with one thing? Like, the food
not
stamps,
when I'm on
like,
shift.
it's not. They didn't give my check is coming next week. I have no money one time, and then here come Miss White Bright over here coming to get. Like,
she has chicken in her bag. Like, really, bitch? You couldn't just let me go?
Right.
Now see, if you had a dark-skinned chick at the door, she'd be like, get another bag of chicken since gone.
Right.
Go ahead, get you
It ain't 2 weeks.
Get some biscuits too. Biscuits are good with chicken. You know what I mean? Like, see?
Don't listen to that, guys.
Like, that's an edit. That's editor's cut.
I don't give a shit what color you are. You got chicken in the bag. I'm catching your ass.
Look, my dad used to work at Stop and Shop.
Job. But that's Tiff's job for real.
What?
I'm a chicken catcher.
Chicken catcher. For real.
Bag catcher.
You're a chicken catcher? Really?
No, see, asset protection.
Oh.
I protect the asses. Especially if there be some fine asses coming through there.
I'm dead with you. Done.
Lisa says somebody in the comments suspected her 3 times in one day, and then she popped off that on her. Now the girl's not in her class no more.
You know,
they will play all up into your face, man. And then as soon as you act a whole fool, it's like no, bitch, my ass. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They do that, and not just like, you know, white people do that too. Like you said, like you match that energy. Like when I get the work email, it's like, did you really have to CC our boss? It's like you had a problem
here, like
right. You had a problem. You could have IM'd me. You could have just emailed me by myself. But you're just gonna keep it professional. Okay, professionally per this email was unacceptable. If you have something to say, we can talk about it. Like as adults, like just like, oh gosh, just horrible. Just
like, since while we're being professional, did you tell your boss that you ain't been coming in, bitch?
Right, right.
Writing that professional ass email, like, you want to play this game,
right?
No, but it cuts across. Everybody like to try them damn games until they met with that energy. And it just sucks because if it's light skin on light skin or white skin on white skin, then it's not really looked at a certain way. But you insert black person, oh hell.
Right.
Oh shit. You know what I'm saying?
It sucks.
And I don't even react. Like in a situation, Lil probably, and definitely Tiff probably, like Lil said, are way quicker. I would not react quick. These two would react way faster than I ever would. I like to stew, which is probably not good because when the top pop off, it's all fucked off and shit. But I really like to stew, and I just kind of watch, and then once I react, then I know I've made the right decision. So I kind of like sit, and I'm like, okay, all right. And I'm really calculated in that way because I'm just watching the scenery, making sure, like, okay, so when I knock this bitch head off, I'm going to be justified, right? Yep, I'm justified. All right, I'm about to knock this bitch head off right now. Lil would be like, well, no. I ain't trying to hear this shit. I'm going to knock this bitch head off because she played with me. And so that I kind of like I give everybody enough room to hang themselves. I start you off with 100%. And then once you whittle down under 50%, it might be a problem.
I'm a walk-in pressure cooker.
Yeah, your pop, yeah. See? See? And it's the light-skinned one.
Yep, you would assume it would be you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Society says me. They don't even know it's the light-skinned one walking around with a quick fuse. They don't even know that she fucking.
I might even misheard what you said, and you gonna get. I'm sorry.
I thought
you said.
I just said I think I'm the person you're talking about because I don't even have to be right about some shit. Like if I just think something, I'm like, hold up. But I have better. I will at least a lot of, I ain't gonna say every time, but a lot of times I'll ask, like, do this sound crazy? Like, or am I bugging? Like I'll call someone or something, but before I didn't even take that time. Now I do. This is growth.
No, I just prefer to apologize afterwards. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not what you said. My bad. No, you know not to say that though.
I apologize for calling you 18 bitches and 14 motherfuckers. I heard you wrong.
And don't forget, I'll kill you in between. But
well, sometimes I hear you right, but just take it wrong and be like, wait.
Yeah, that's a tough one. And then somebody's telling you what they mean, and you be like, well, no, you said and you meant. It's like, how you gonna tell me what the fuck I meant? I know what I meant. Just because you don't get what I meant and you assume that I meant what I meant, I know what the fuck. I ain't scared of you. I tell you what the fuck I meant.
Yeah, I sure
am that.
But see, that's also a part of colorism because we always have to be on the defense.
Yeah.
Always.
I mean, I don't know if that's even colorism. I think that's just the life of being black.
Let me have that. Let me just have that.
Girl, no, because you've been the colorist on live the whole
time. What do they call it, Uncle Tom? The whole time.
No,
remember Uncle Tom.
She's more just racist.
Wait, I guess that guy. I forgot his name. The Boondocks with the.
I know Uncle something.
Yeah, Uncle Ruckus. Uncle Ruckus.
Oh, no.
Just all fucked off against her own people and shit, just talking all kind of crazy shit.
You could come in on all these white folks, you know. Oh my gosh, that show is so good. That's the perfect show.
I ain't going there.
I didn't know that shit was still on.
All right, y'all. I definitely got to get out of here, or the angry, light-skinned old woman is gonna.
She gonna come down there with her colorist bullshit.
I'll be having to mute because she's been threatening my life. I'm like,
tell Ma to be.
Y'all go back and play it. When you go back and see this, you're gonna be like, "Oh, she was getting threatened right there."
Ma's getting gully. Ma's getting gully.
All right. Any last words, you guys?
No, I think this was a great topic.
Yeah, great conversation. I mean, I'm as always, I'm enlightened to see. I'm enlightened. Isn't that funny? Like
But I know what you meant, though.
Right. But like I learned things that I wasn't sure about. It gave me something else to think about. Maybe I'm gonna stop calling my good friends black asses. I probably am not, but you know what I mean. I'll definitely, it's something I'm gonna consider. You know, maybe I even have a conversation to make sure I'm not offending anybody before, because I don't want to offend nobody. Because again, I know what I went through. So yeah. Great topic, great conversation. Looking forward to many, many more, ladies. Many, many more.
Yeah, a lot more topics. I need you guys to let me know if you think we should do this twice a week or stick to the once a week, because them topics been coming up like hotcakes.
I don't mind twice a week.
Yeah, I just if we can do like one of the days, like either a Tuesday or Wednesday, because when I go back to work, I'm off on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I'm usually not off on a Monday.
All right, and you guys in the comments, let me know if you guys want to see more of this, like more often. Don't be shady.
And feel free to text or email. I don't know if Lil has her email up there, but email Lil any topics that y'all might want us to discuss.
Oh, I got a call for you. I was just gonna text her though.
Oh, you can tell them to DM me too. Like
DM, Facebook, Instagram. Yeah.
And make sure you guys are subscribing to my YouTube. What's going on? And
you had a YouTube?
This girl. She doesn't know how to work the interwebs.
Well, you need to help her. But everybody, make sure you're looking out for Bull Swanky. Business and Bull Swanky. You can find it on YouTube also, and you can find it on Facebook. Now, where else you didn't went to, girl?
Business and Bull Swanky is at Business and Bull Swanky on all social media platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn.
Damn, what is that though? That's your business tree?
Yeah, Business and Bull Swanky. It's very similar to what Lil's doing, but just on a, we talk about more business related and then the bullshit of the business. You know what I mean? So,
okay.
And then while I got y'all here real quick, I'm doing bracelets, everybody. So stay tuned to my little bracelet line that's coming out. Because y'all see these beautiful bracelets, all man-made. So I'll be showcasing these very soon.
Oh, those are cute.
Thank you much. Different types of bracelets, different styles. This is another one of my bracelets that I handmade. I don't know if you guys can see that well, but that's coming soon. But again, follow me at Business and Bull Swanky on all social media platforms.
All right, maybe do that now.
Yeah.
And guys, we didn't mention that it was International Women's Day.
Oh yeah.
Oh damn. Yes. Clap it up, International Women's Day. Women are phenomenal. All y'all are phenomenal women. Oh, look at my girl.
Women. There we go. Yes. Cute.
That's my offspring, y'all.
Oh,
I was about to ask because she got your eyes.
That's mommy's little offspring.
There you go. Like, hey.
That's your youngest
baby? Yeah, that's the baby. Oh, girl, that's the baby.
Oh my gosh, she got so big. Wow.
I don't know how's Maya again, Lil?
16, girl.
Yep, she's 16.
I gotta keep everybody's ages for her.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how old I am. I have to count.
I don't even know how old I am. I asked Lil how old I am.
I'm gonna be 28 in August.
You see?
I'm good at this.
Well, how old's Edwin?
Edwin's gonna be 30.
Yeah.
In October.
Damn. I'll be having to count back from their year.
I pick one of the kids, and then I know everybody from there. I know Hank from there. I know everybody from there. But we're gonna get off this live now, you guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, bye guys. See y'all soon, whenever that is. Maybe Wednesday, hopefully. Bye.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.